Who's rushing you? You said you were ready, didn't you?
Dave, the courthouse isn't even open yet.
Well, we can't sit here all day drinking your coffee. Well, better prompt than late.
You call a half hour early prompt? And what's wrong with my coffee? I thought you liked it.
Well, it tasted pretty strong today. What am I doing? I didn't come here to pick a fight. Just not knowing what to expect in court today.
Dave, don't worry. The truth will come out. Harold is calling more witnesses to make sure of that.
Yes, but who are they? The only person he mentioned was Blair.
Well, you know he's calling Blair because he wants to find out why her fingerprints were in Amber's apartment.
Well, that's just it. Where does that put Amber?
Well, in an awkward position.
A suspicious position. Look, I've prayed to God that he'd show us who killed Kate. But now I wish I hadn't. Amber hates me, but she's still my daughter. I can't believe that one of my daughters would kill Kate.
Well, you like it?
It's beautiful.
I made certain that it would fit you. Put it on.
Vaughn, didn't Peter tell you about...
About you and him. Well, this should help you forget about that infatuation. I love you, Courtney.
You don't understand.
Oh, yes, I do. I've just taken too long to show you my devotion. Now, please, let me put it on you. Now, if the diamond isn't large enough or the color's not right, you can always order another.
Vaughn, just listen to me, all right? There's nothing wrong with the ring. It's absolutely beautiful.
Well, then put it on.
No! Oh. Vaughn, we're strangers. We've known each other all our lives, but our emotional needs are new to each other.
Can't we deal with that when we're married? I mean, we belong to each other, Courtney.
You always assume that.
Of course I do. So does your father. So does mine, for that matter. Look, I understand all this business with Peter Davidson. I mean, it's just to make me jealous, isn't it?
Well, you obviously don't take him seriously.
Why should I? I mean, he can't offer you in a lifetime what I'm giving you right now. A secure future, Courtney. The Sumner heritage.
Oh, you always fall back on the family fortune when you're threatened, Vaughn.
Oh, I knew you should have never come to Kingsley. I told Preston not to allow you to do this.
Well, I'm glad I did.
But face it, you can't afford to refuse me.
And you say you love me? Is degrading me your way of showing it?
Is giving you a ring like this degrading?
Yes.
Well, now that's a new one on me.
It's a bribe, Vaughn. Just like the bill you passed the maitre d' to get a good table in the restaurant. Well, I won't be bought.
Noble principles, Courtney. But your family situation...
You can't afford my love because it will reveal what you are.
And Davidson can.
He's not afraid to be his own man.
Well, neither am I. Look, Courtney, I don't have to go around chasing you. There are plenty of women in Lake Forest that would jump at the chance to take your place, and you know that.
Better duck, Harold. Here he comes.
Who?
Too late now.
Morning, Harold.
Well, Marshall, how are you? Good to see you.
Thank you. How are you?
Just fine.
Good. Miss Farley, isn't it?
Yes. How are you?
Nice to see you. I'd like to take a little meeting before the trial this morning.
Oh, gosh, Marshall, I don't think I'm going to have time for
Don't
that.
beat around the bush, Harold, please, because Judge Sawyer filled me in on your charade.
Well, you've been briefed then. I don't see any need to discuss it further.
I just don't want to turn the courtroom into a circus. I mean, I agreed to do this only in the interest of justice.
Well, that's big of you, Marshall.
I'll tell you how big it is of me, Harold. Just one shaky detail, and I'll pull the plug on you.
Marshal, if any shaky details surface, I will pull the plug myself. But for now, I gotta go with what I have.
Just as long as we understand each other.
I'm sure we do. Marshal, thanks for the cooperation.
What is he talking about, Harold? This charade?
Oh, it's nothing in particular.
Look, you're holding out on me. There's plenty you're not telling me, and it has to do with those fingerprints. Am I right?
Babs, are we gonna have to have another discussion about the meaning of the word confidential?
Look, didn't I tell you about Lance's twin brother?
Yeah, but that's not privileged information.
Well, maybe not. But if I hadn't told you, you wouldn't have known there was 2 Lancelots running around, right?
That's right. Maybe you better call Sergeant Brubaker.
For what?
Let him know that Jeremy Lancelot's in town. He may be able to fill in some blanks on Lance.
Him? No. You know, it's weird, Harold. You think you're seeing double trouble when you see this guy. Phew, I sure did. But I did some checking up on him, and they're as different as cats and dogs.
Try to tell Miriam that. I am sure that either one of those guys is gonna have a real bad effect on her because of that, all the weeks and months she spent in captivity, kidnapped by Lance.
Yeah. Jeremy's an archaeologist, you know. Wonder what it's like traveling all around the world digging up clay pots and stuff like that.
I wouldn't know a thing about that. You ready to order?
Yeah. I wonder what it's like to get a really good clue and then keep a closed mouth about it.
Oh, no, we're not, Carla.
Oh, hold still, Gina. I mean, you're worse than Jimmy.
Well, then, look, you're just gonna have to take that invitation. Ouch! You're gonna have to take the invitation back.
I haven't extended it yet.
Well, good. Then that takes care of that.
Well, they'll be here any minute, and I was planning on asking them then.
What? Carla, why do we have to go out of our way to help them?
They're going out of their way for you. They're going all the way to the Chronicle to pick up your own work.
That is not what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. I'm talking about us giving them some kind of engagement party like we're handing down our blessings.
That's the idea. You know, maybe you ought to get another tie for this suit. This one isn't doing it any good.
Carla, I am testifying in court, not modeling suits and ties.
But I want you to look presentable.
And stop trying to change this subject. You know I don't go for that wedding plan nonsense, Carla. Come on.
Oh, now look, here they are. Please keep your opinions to yourself. Come on in. The door's open.
Hi, Carla. I was hoping my favorite journalist hadn't left for the courthouse.
Nope, he's still here. Hi, Gil. How you doing?
Carla.
Here you go, the things I do for you.
Thanks. I owe you one, lady.
Consider it paid in full. Taking the stand for my father is probably the biggest favor you'll ever do for me.
No, there's still one big one he could manage.
Carla, no, no, no.
Healthy marital undercurrents. Taking notes?
Since I walked in the door.
You know, you two should drop by more often and not just on business either.
Well, maybe we will, Carla, now that the trial's winding down. Won't we, Gil?
We'll see.
Yeah, Stacy, you're always welcome in our place.
Well, could I get you something to drink?
No, that's all right. We're sort of in a hurry. I think we ought to get going.
But Gene, McGovern had notes he wanted me to explain to you. Could we talk about it for just a minute?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, look, I think I'll wait in the car then, okay?
Okay, Gil, I won't be long.
Great.
Gil, thanks for coming. And I really mean that. Come back again sometime.
Thanks, Carla. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Nice house.
Thanks.
He's doing an article on a commentary.
Yeah.
So he wants your article on the op-ed page. Now, there are a couple of angles that he was talking about you working on.
Come on, Vaughn. Lake Forest Deb's knocking at your door.
You did, didn't you?
When I was younger and didn't know better. Besides, word's gotten around that your armor is a few sizes too big these days.
Just big enough to keep your reputation intact.
You wish.
Come on, Courtney, why do we have to go on digging at each other like this?
Maybe our value systems are a bit mixed up.
Look, all right, do you want me to say I'm sorry? I am. Would you like me to tell you that I'm jealous? I think that's obvious. I'll do anything to get you to take this ring.
Vaughn! Look, I just want to taste life on my own, all right?
Well, I can help you if you let me.
You just don't understand.
What? What? I said I'd get you another ring if you wanted, didn't I? Tell me what?
Goodbye, Vaughn.
You know, you can't just dismiss me from your life like that, Courtney. It's not that easy.
Oh, I know. But it won't stop me from trying. Will you please leave?
Your Honor, the defense calls Gene Redlin to the stand.
Gene Redlin, come forward, please.
What are you calling him for?
I don't have time to tell you right now. You'll see.
You all right, Stacy?
The best I've been in weeks. Wonder where Amber is, though. She shouldn't miss this.
Mr. Redlin, because of the special nature of this session, I want to dispense with some of the formalities here, but I am going to ask you to tell the court your employment.
I'm the city reporter for the Kingsley Chronicle.
That's the same place that one of the daughters of the defendant works, isn't it? Stacy Phillips, she's a reporter?
Yes.
How long have you known Dr. Phillips?
I've known Dr. Phillips a little over a year.
Did you know his wife, the deceased, his ex-wife?
Yes, I knew Kate Carruthers. I even covered the wedding to the congressman.
I see. And there's another daughter, Amber. Are you acquainted with her?
Well, she came into the newsroom several times to see Stacy. Yeah, I know her.
Hey, so on the morning of September the 30th, the same morning right after the murder, when Amber came to the newspaper office to tell Stacy about her mother's death, you recognized her.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And did she tell Stacy about her mother's death?
Well, no, she didn't have to. I told her.
You told her that her mother had been murdered?
Yes.
Must have been a pretty tough thing to do. How'd she react?
Well, she reacted pretty hard. She fainted, and Walter McGovern, the city editor, and we both revived her, and then Walter insisted that she take the rest of the day off.
I see. Seems to me she must have been pretty distraught. I doubt if she should have gone home alone. Did somebody go with her?
Amber took her home.
Amber?
Yes.
The one who discovered her mother's body. She was also there when Stacy fainted?
Yes, she was.
Exactly when did Amber arrive?
Well, almost after Stacy, which was about 9:30. You see, Stacy was late for work that morning.
So you must have broken the unfortunate news to Stacy at just about the exact time Amber walked in.
Well, pretty close. You see, when we saw Amber, I just blurted the news out to Stacy at that time about her mom.
You and Stacy saw Amber at the same time?
Yes, those two usually square up when they get under the same roof together, and I had no idea what Amber was going to try to do that day. But yeah, we saw her at the same time.
Did they argue on this occasion, exchange harsh words?
Well, no. Stacy she was out cold.
What about Amber? Did she seem to be torn up about her mother's death? Did she cry or anything?
Sir? Thank you.
What I was saying, Doug, is we can beat Dan at his own game.
Yeah, Nancy certainly didn't waste any time announcing her engagement, did she? And what really surprises me, though, is that Dan let her put it in print. I can't believe
See,
it.
that's why we've got to get into action. Now, Terry's agreed to offer her place for the wedding, if Lori thinks it's a good idea.
Does she?
Well, I'm working on her. I think she's going to come around. You see, she wonders if Nancy's going to give us a second chance to prove Dan's a fake.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to take more than a wedding at her sister's house to convince her, don't you?
Well, I'll do anything. Anything to make Dan think that Nancy's dropped her lawsuit against me. That's our goal.
Right. You know, Dan just might be convinced. He just might fall for it if
If what?
If if we could just show him some kind of proof on paper. You know, sort of like the divorce certificate that he wrangled up. If you could just show him some kind of proof.
You mean like a document?
Right. Sort of like the settlement that I drew up for you. Only this one would state that Nancy was willing to drop all the charges against you.
Do you think you can come up with something like that?
I think I could certainly give it a shot.
Now listen, Doug, if you see any more pitfalls, you let me know right now.
One. Just one. Her name is Julia, and she has got a nose on her that could sniff out a hoax a mile away.
Wouldn't it be great if we could get her on our side?
Yeah?
I mean, Dan gave her a raw deal, too.
Right.
He divorced her, really, for Nancy's settlement.
Yeah. God, wouldn't that be the final touch? Wouldn't that be the finishing touch? We could just get Julia to put on another performance, right? This time, Dan as a pigeon.
You think she'll go for it?
I don't know if she's seen this engagement announcement or not.
Whatever you do, Vaughn, hang on to that ring. Courtney will probably want to show it to all her friends next week.
Next week, Courtney may just have run off somewhere with that peon Peter What's-His-Face.
Over my dead body. I want no Davidsons in this.
How am I going to get her back?
Court her, Mr. Sumner. Lavish her with affection.
Mrs. Lucas, are you in the habit of eavesdropping?
I can't help it. The hour calls for a lady's opinion.
Well, when I want yours, I'll ask for it.
Easy, Vaughn. I think Mrs. Lucas has a point. I have a feeling that Davidson's just trying to sweet-talk her, that's all.
I have a book of poems. Should pique her interest. Send her roses with a few lines from one of the poems, and you'll have her back in your arms before you know it.
Mrs. Lucas, I wonder if you'd mind checking on lunch. I think we might have it served earlier today.
Very well, sir.
Really, Charles, that woman should be confined to the kitchen.
Not so loud. I admit she's a little talkative, but she's an excellent housekeeper.
Really? Seems she spends a lot of time concerning herself with other people's business.
Mm-hmm. Even so, there may be something in what she says.
Are you suggesting that I need improvement? I should think getting Davidson out of the picture would be your concern.
What I'm suggesting follows a rather well-known cliche, and that is the best defense is a strong offense.
Oh, great. Dredging up old football strategies now? Is that it, Charles?
No, I'm simply giving you very sound advice. Preston!
Charles, I'm sorry to intrude.
Oh, am I glad to see you. Preston, you need to have another chat with Courtney.
Not now, Vaughn. It can wait.
No, it can't wait.
Please.
I insist you speak to her immediately.
Vaughn!
Preston, do you know what she's gone and done this time?
Will you shut up?
Preston, what is it?
It's Phyllis.
And?
She had another lapse, and I had to take her back to the sanitarium.
Well, Mr. Redland, did Amber seem to be distraught at all about what happened to her mother?
You mean you want my opinion?
No, I want your description. Just describe for me, please, Amber's behavior that morning. Was she crying or anything?
No, she didn't cry. She was very calm, unlike Stacy.
Meaning?
Well, meaning she was more of an observer rather than a participant. She just watched Mr. McGovern and myself get Stacy on her feet.
Did Amber offer any assistance of any kind?
Only when Mr. McGovern asked her to take Stacy home.
And Amber made no protest?
None.
Mr. Redland, I wonder if you could tell me, please, how many times you saw Amber Phillips after Kate's death?
2 or 3 times.
Exactly where?
The newsroom, the funeral, and Greenbrier restaurant.
Now, at the funeral and at the Greenbrier restaurant, would you say that her behavior was substantially the same as it was in the newsroom that morning?
You mean if she showed any signs of grief? No.
And at the funeral, it's the same then?
Even at the funeral.
Now, what about her sister Stacy? How long was it before she was able to go back to work?
A couple of days.
And then it was same old routine, work as usual?
No, not exactly. For several weeks there, she left work early.
Is there any reason given for that?
Yeah, because she couldn't concentrate. She said all she ever thought about was her mother, and she was depressed about the murder.
Where is she, Blair?
Who?
Amber. Who else? Why isn't she here?
She is. Mr. Webster has her in one of the conference rooms.
Are you up next to testify?
I don't know. I don't know what order they have us in.
You're not backing out, are you? I mean, you are going to tell the truth about your fingerprints and about Amber?
Yes, Stacy. I'm going to tell the truth.
I drove away from that institution without even looking back. Kept telling myself over and over that they could do more for Phyllis than I could.
You need a drink, Preston.
Thank you.
We need to talk, Preston.
What is it, Vaughn?
Courtney broke off our engagement.
She what?
She refused the ring I gave her.
Ring? What?
She made it official today, and Vaughn's been upset ever since.
Well, why did she do it? What did you say to her, Vaughn?
It's that Peter Davidson. He's turned her head against me. I don't know. I warned you that guy was trouble, but you wouldn't listen to me.
Marvelous. She picks this time to walk away from you.
Yeah. Well, if she doesn't come around soon, I'm walking, and I'm taking Carpenter shipping with me.